Welcome back to episode 3. So last episode we painted the frame. This episode we're going to be going through the engine. I'm going to be showing you what I found, what we're working with, and just some key checks that you can use for an engine if you tear it down in the future. So let's get started. This will be a full disassembly, and I'll just jump in and say a couple things as we roll through the engine just to give my thoughts, but for now just enjoy the disassembly. First thing to notice once we took off the cover is that the timing guide has wedged between the head and the timing chain, so we're going to definitely fix that before we put it back together. Luckily the valves actually look fine, there's not a lot of excess carbon build up, so this doesn't look too bad to me, which gives me hope for the rest of the engine. And at this point I don't see any excessive carbon on the piston. There's just that black line where the piston sat for too long, but I'm hoping that'll come out. The piston here definitely will need to be replaced, but the bore actually looks fine. There's no scratches, there's no deep grooving. It must just have, the engine must have just been used for a long time and the rings have gotten worn or something like that, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad at all, that bore. I would also recommend cleaning the engine before you do this. I will be doing that next time, just to make sure dust doesn't get in any vital parts. The piston actually looks worse than it is. There are some scratching on the side, but there's not a lot of carbon build up. The rings are clean, and that major gash there, you can barely feel it. Like it's just like a little scratch on the side of it. Regardless, we're still going to replace the piston and we're going to replace the rings, but it doesn't look too bad after all, so I think the bore will be okay. Checking here, there's a little bit of side to side movement, which is fine, but there is no up and down movement. It's rock solid, so again, the crank must be good as well. I did get a measuring gauge in there later and it was within the tolerances that is specified in the service manual for the side to side movement, so there's nothing to be concerned there. At first glance, everything seems fine. There's no rusting, so that there has been no water in there. It's actually really clean inside. So again, gives me hope that this engine has been well maintained over time, just has had a hard, long life. It was found on a farm, so I'm guessing they would have just used it for farm work over the years. So I'd say things would be worn, but not necessarily damaged, if anything. I'm definitely going to make an engine holder for all future projects, because these tougher nuts to get off are really hard to get off when the engine's loose. So engine holder will be in the next project for sure. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy this slower style engine disassembly. I'm just experimenting with different formats at this point. This guide seems really greasy, so I'm guessing that's just the oil chain lube mixed with a lot of dirt, because I couldn't see any oil leaks around that area, so I'm hoping it's just that. Also, quick tip, if you want to undo the top cam nut, it's easier to actually hold the magneto and then undo the top cam nut. I should have done that in this order. So you take the left side off first, take the cover over so you can get the cam guide, and then hold the magneto while you undo the cam nut. In future, that's how I'll be going about it. It was much easier than trying to hold the cam and undo the nut. So just an FYI. Again, under the cover, super clean. No oil leaking from behind. There's no oxidization, there's no rust. So a well-maintained engine. So I wouldn't recommend using screwdrivers to pry the cases open, but this engine actually has a little mount where you can put screwdrivers in and twist. And once again, super clean inside. So I think this engine, we're going to need to replace the rings and the piston. We'll have to repaint the casing, put it back together, do all the timing marks, but I think it's a really good base for this project. It doesn't need anything in the bottom end. So it's actually super exciting. I'm really happy about this. In the next engine episode, we're going to go through the painting, how we've painted it, heat treated it at home in the shed, and then the bottom end rebuild is a separate video, and then the top end rebuild as a separate video in detail. But for now, I'm going to order the parts it needs for the top end, and next week's video will be the carby. We're going to break it down piece by piece, put it back together with a carburetor kit. So we'll see you all in the next video.